Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For fast and the cheapest coins anywhere, make sure you guys check out MMOEXP.com and use code ZERK for 5% off your order. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another Madden Ultimate Team video, and today I want to talk to you guys about the NFL Honors promo. Now, if you guys don't already know this, the NFL Honors Awards, they're actually going to be doing the award ceremony on Thursday, coming up here in a couple of days, and then we're going to get NFL Honors players released into the game. Usually, we get like the limiteds and everything after the Super Bowl, right? So I believe last year we got them Tuesday after the Super Bowl. They released like the first batch of players, and then they just kind of roll out throughout the week. So for those about to comment, when is this stuff coming out? That would be usually after the Super Bowl that week. I do want to give a shout out to K1 Fan for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid. Make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, notification bell on, and comment down below Noti Gang. And guys, if you have not already checked out Underdog Fantasy, do I look good in a hat? I don't know. I feel like I look better with a hat backwards, but it is what it is. I wanted to showcase this cool hat they sent me. But if you guys have not already checked out Underdog Fantasy, you can use code ZERK to match first deposit up to $100. And speaking of the Super Bowl, there is a new special. Joe Burrow over under 1 passing yard special for the Super Bowl. Do not miss out. It is the final NFL special of the year, so don't miss out on it. Last night, if you guys follow me over on Twitter, we had an incredible night with NBA. We'll be tweeting out my NBA picks later today. My dad won $850. I won $350. We had a crazy night, so definitely don't miss out on it. Follow me over on Twitter and check out Underdog Fantasy. As I said, Joe Burrow over under 1 passing yard special, but let's get into the NFL Honors. I want to talk to you guys about what kind of stuff you could potentially be doing. And I'm going over the NFL Honors stuff and my predictions on the NFL Honors players now, because I personally have made investments on the NFL Honors players that I think we could see, and you guys could potentially as well. So let's go over the promo, what it is, stuff like that. Let's hop into it. Now, also, guys, before we even go over the promo and the cards that we've got in the years past, whatever, I just wanted to showcase this for you guys. Mutt Leaks did actually tweet this out a couple of days ago. This is the animation for the NFL Honors players. So when they get released into the game, if you pull one of them, that's the animation. All right, so let's talk about the NFL Honors promo. Now, as I did tell you guys last year, the first release that we got was immediately following the Super Bowl on Tuesday. So keep in mind, they haven't announced what days NFL Honors players will be coming out, whatever. I am actually recording this video very late on Monday night. So if they talked about it at all this morning, check out this morning's video. I'm sure they talked about something, hopefully with some sort of promos coming out soon. I know that we have the Black History Month promo that's out this morning, so check out this morning's video. But as you guys can see, players that we got last year. So what awards do players actually get cards in the game for? Well, you guys can see right here, we always tend to get Comeback Player of the Year, which I will say, I want to say that it was 2 years ago, the Comeback Player of the Year was Ryan Tannehill, and we didn't get him because EA actually had it slated in that Tannehill was going to be like the team MVP, I believe it was, that he came out with. But last year, we did, in fact, get the Comeback Player of the Year in Alex Smith. We got the Offensive Player of the Year in Derrick Henry. We got the Fantasy Player of the Year, which was kind of new, but we have gotten that recently in the past 2 years. 2 years ago, we had Christian McCaffrey. Last year, we had Josh Allen. We also have Defensive Player of the Year. We have the MVP, which was Aaron Rodgers. And then, of course, we have Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, usually, the way that they roll out these, limiteds, they can do it in whatever order they really want to. But they do tend to push out the MVP as like the last one. And normally they also kind of like to start with like maybe Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, maybe throw in, Fantasy Player or Comeback Player of the Year. But usually the last one to be released is going to be the MVP. So just keep that in mind when it comes to, the rollouts of these cards. They might be in packs for 48 hours, I would expect, of course. And, we might get the first 2 on, let's say Tuesday, right? Let's say we get them on next Tuesday, we get the first 2. Then we get like the next 2 on maybe Thursday, whatever else. Kind of just depends on how EA wants to do it this year. Now, one thing I do want to mention to you guys, though, is that last year we actually had a Russell Wilson who won the Walter Payton Man of the Year. We did not get a card for Russell Wilson with the Walter Payton Man of the Year. However, in Madden 20, we did get the Walter Payton Man of the Year here with Calais Campbell. So I don't remember exactly why we didn't get the Walter Payton Man of the Year, but you can see the other players that we did end up getting. We didn't, in fact, get the Comeback Player of the Year because, as I said, that was Ryan Tannehill in Madden 20, and that's when they gave us the Fantasy Player of the Year. So, in Madden 20, we did not get the Comeback Player of the Year, and instead we got the Fantasy Player, and then in Madden 21, we didn't get the Walter Payton Man of the Year, and we got the Fantasy Player of the Year. So, I mean, they could do Walter Payton Man of the Year, they could do Fantasy Player, just kind of depends, I guess. I did just want to mention that because I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do there, but now I'm going to go over my predictions for the Comeback Player of the Year, the Offensive Player of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then also the MVP and Fantasy Player of the Year. I'm pretty sure I just named all of those ones that I have on this list here. So let's get into this. Now, I'm doing this because I've personally made some investments into players that I think are going to win awards, because obviously since they're getting LTDs, and hopefully there'll be a lot of them pulled, and I think they're going to be pretty wanted players as well. Their cards could definitely go up in price, and maybe if you guys want to look into their power-ups as well, you could do that if you want to. Now, one player that I think is really interesting, and this is maybe one that I think we could see pushed out of the way, is, like I told you guys, Comeback Player of the Year Ryan Tannehill in Madden 20, he didn't get a card. Well, if the LTDs are 97 overalls again this year, I think that may happen again, because Joe Burrow is probably going to win Comeback Player of the Year, right? You would think maybe earlier in this year was going to be Dak Prescott to win Comeback Player of the Year, but I think now with Joe Burrow making it to the Super Bowl, you would think that he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year, but I don't think that he would get any sort of card in Madden 22 for limited NFL honors if they make him 97s, because he already has a 96 overall you can power up. And on top of that, he's in the Super Bowl right now, right? So let's say they do end up beating the Rams, he could also get MVP. But the thing is, they drop the honors cards after the Super Bowl, so, you know, that's not really going to affect anything there with Burrow. However, that could affect things for some other player I will talk about here shortly. Actually, two other players I can talk about here shortly that may get moved around depending on who wins Super Bowl, who wins MVP. I think Burrow's probably going to come back Player of the Year, but we may not see him as an honors card just because he already has a 96. So we may end up getting like the Walter Payton Man of the Year and then the Fantasy Player of the Year instead of the comeback, which Walter Payton Man of the Year, I have zero idea who is currently winning in that voting. Now, as for the Offensive Player of the Year, I think it's going to be Cooper Kupp. He is the triple crown of wide receivers, right? He led all wide receivers in catches, touchdowns, and yardage, and I think that he is going to win the Offensive Player of the Year. Now, of course, you know, Jonathan Taylor could potentially win Offensive Player of the Year as well. So if you guys want to invest into, you know, Cooper Kupp's 93 overall team, like maybe not a bad idea, I'll let you know. I didn't, because I'm just not a big fan of Cooper Kupp cards. He's always kind of slow. And also, he could potentially get the 99 overall MVP, right? If the Rams win, Cooper Kupp has a pretty big chance of winning that MVP. So this is another one that we could potentially see. Now, as for Defensive Player of the Year, I think that is going to be TJ Watt. I think TJ Watt definitely has Defensive Player of the Year locked up. Now, will this be a good card is the question. He's going to be a 97 overall. If they make him like last year, he'd be up to over 90 speed, mid 90 excel, you know, low or high 80s strength there. The finesse would be really, really up there. He'd be a really, really good pass rusher. Personally, not somebody that I'm looking to invest in, just because there may be another better left side linebacker in my opinion, and that would be Micah Parsons. But then we run into another issue here, right? Because Micah has a 96 overall Ghost of Madden Future LTD, which is a 96, same as Joe Burrow. So what is EA going to do here? Because obviously Micah Parsons is about to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we kind of have two big issues with the NFL Honors players, with the Defensive Rookie of the Year already having a 96 and the Comeback Player of the Year having a 96 overall, if in fact Joe Burrow wins that, which I think he will. So we have two kind of big issues here with already kind of showing up here with the NFL Honors cards, and I'm not sure what EA is going to do about that. But as for the Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think it's very, very obvious that it is going to be Jamar Chase, absolute animal. And again, what happens if the Bengals win the Super Bowl? Well, Jamar Chase, he also could potentially win MVP, right? So we have a bit of an issue here with some of the NFL Honors players who potentially win MVP, and then maybe even another card that EA has to do something with. Maybe we'll just get less NFL Honors. Maybe they give rewards or cards to different people who win like lesser known awards. I'm not really sure what exactly is going to happen there. But Jamar Chase is a player that I think is going to get an NFL Honors card, and this is a card that I did, in fact, invest into. You guys can see this is the Redux. He had a Blitz card, currently over about 160K. I actually bought one of them, my main account, and his power-up, and over on No Money Spent. I bought him like a month ago for like 120K, and I'm just holding on to him. As for the Fantasy Player of the Year, I feel like that is going to be Jonathan Taylor. I feel like Jonathan Taylor is probably going to win Fantasy Player of the Year, and I do think it would actually be a pretty good card because Jonathan Taylor's cards are actually pretty good. He's 226 pounds, so he's got some weight to him, good speed, you know, he's got good catching, decent route running at 82 short. I mean, that's pretty good. And then after the catch as well, or just in general, once you get the ball in his hands, you know, 93 juke move, 93 change of direction, he's got 90 truck, 93 break tackle. So Jonathan Taylor at 97 overall LTD is going to be a good card, but this is not one that I personally invested into just because there are a lot of good running backs currently in the game, and I'm not sure I would want a Jonathan Taylor card. I'm not exactly sure how much his price would go up because obviously we already have a lot of good running backs in the game right now that I feel like would be pretty decently similar to Taylor. Maybe they juice up the card, but I feel like Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, one of them is going to win, you know, Offense Player of the Year, and the other one is probably going to win Fantasy Player of the Year. So I feel pretty confident both of them getting cards. And then for my MVP prediction, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers, and this is also another card that I have made an investment into. I did go out and buy one of these. Now, maybe like, why did I buy one? Well, because he's got the fastest release in the game, right? Now, of course, that's going to make any card very, very expensive if you have the fastest release in the game. And with Aaron Rodgers here being an improviser, unfortunately so, he's going to need 82 speed to get Escape Artist. So unless he decides to really juice up Aaron Rodgers, I'm not sure that he's going to get Escape Artist. However, he's going to have the fastest release in the game. His throw power is going to be really high. His throwing accuracy is going to be really good. I'm hoping they juice him up. And maybe, just maybe, you know, because he is the MVP, something that EA has kind of been doing recently with some cards is, you know, giving them built-in abilities. What if they did that with Rodgers and they gave him built-in Escape Artist? Maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe that won't happen, but I think that'd be really cool. So those are my predictions as for players that could win NFL Honor Awards, cards we could potentially see. But again, we have two major issues. Joe Burrow, Micah Parsons. What's going to happen there? Because if they're just 97 overall LTDs, you can already power both of them up to a 97. So would they maybe just get like +1 overalls in their power up? I'm not exactly sure what EA is going to do in that situation, but that does sound pretty reasonable. Maybe they just get +1s in their power up, and then their previous cards would just shoot up in value even more, I suppose. Or maybe they want it. Maybe people won't care too much about it. But with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you guys drop a like video, and of course hit that sub button down below. As I said, I wanted to come in here, talk about the NFL Honors promo, just so you guys are aware of it, be ready for it. A lot of good content, you know, some really good players we can potentially see, get some pretty nice upgrades, and maybe you want to make some investments, maybe you don't, maybe you just want to wait and see exactly who gets cards and who doesn't, but we'll see about that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.